Thanks for coming, guys. It's my first time doing this, so clap when you get excited. So yeah, I'm Ernie Pang. Already, you guys are an easy fan. So yeah, my name is Ernie Pang. I'm the CEO of Bake 450. We founded the company about 2 years ago. We were part of the development studio, so we knew a lot of things from the mistakes that we have made at the cost of a lot of our clients, which is a good thing, you know. So when we come up with the first title, we actually somewhat succeeded. We're still here, and we are cranking more games, more titles. And I think we have learned a lot in the process, and I've been giving a lot of feedback to a lot of indie studios, and it has been helpful to them, so I figure why not slap something together that can be recorded and shared to the rest of the folks. It's not rocket science, but it is things that you should be doing. So here it goes. So this is what we started with an idea. We thought this was really funny. It was bread on top of a cat's face, and people were doing this and became an official meme. So we took this and applied game mechanic, Pokemon game mechanic, and we came out with a beautiful world. Thanks to the team that I have. They're very creative, and they were stupid enough to follow my bad instinct and got to this. So yeah, so we released this game. Pretty much you travel around the world, and then you battle each other cats. So you pretty much have cat battling each other, and you try to weaken them, and you try to capture them. I'll try to skim. You love the effects, right? It's awesome. And then what we try to do is engagement. So when we created this game, we didn't want just like 120 random characters. We wanted characters that people can associate with. We know that there's a huge fan in cats, so we actually went to Wikipedia, find out all the cat breeds that was available, and we drew specific cats that people can connect with. So that really helped us a lot with the virality of the title of the game. With the distribution. So keys to success. This is nothing new to you guys, so I'm gonna just pass through it. Make that engagement. Make sure whatever title that you have, it captures the soul. It captures their attention. You know, like I Like You, you know, the sniff. And then make sure that they come back again. The retention, I think that's where a lot of the failure rates are. You build something, expect people to come, and if they come once, they don't come back again, then you have no business. So anything else beyond that is a failure. And definitely the oh my god factor, right? The virality, the rating. Our game actually has really good ratings based on, well, I'll get back to that one later. But to succeed as a business, when you look at this, you're a studio, you're creative, you guys are very creative at what you do, but it's a business at the bottom line. How can you succeed in a business? Is buy low, sell high. So watch your costs. I have seen a lot of studios that come in and they hire 7 or 10 people, solid people, they raise good money, and they burn through that, and there's no outcome. So you want to make sure that you capture that margin. Your business is the margin. So try not to fail about that. I mean, besides creating a good game. So in our studio, we build fast, we iterate, we do a lot of prototypings. Usually our development cycle is probably 3 months to deliverable. And that's pretty unheard of, even from based on our experience building any kind of games. So we're definitely on the casual side. We like that factor. We can fail, and if we make mistake, we move on, we create new titles. And we don't invest too much heavily where we feel like we lost too much. So we can keep going, we can succeed. So yeah, we definitely talk about building fast, and if you build something really good, you can always iterate on it, because it's a live game. You can always push a new build. So for our title, our first game, we launched it in 3 months and had Apple feature us during the holiday seasons. That was really good for us. But ideally, our game is only about 40% of the content. Nobody knew about this, but we launch. Launch with as quickly as you can and iterate on that. If it's a success, you will want to do more stuff and more creative, and you get real feedback from the users, and that's very important than you creating like an ultimate console game and hope that that is it, you know. So just get it out there. We also lower our costs a lot by using a lot of third-party services. Back end, we literally have no back end. Nobody knows this. Our backend is actually on third-party services. So we use AWS for asset download. We spin up an EC2 if we need to, but it keeps your costs low, meaning that you don't have to have a full-time server guy to run all this stuff. So that really helps you. Photon is a really cool tool on Unity that allows you to do multiplayer, and we're using this on our next title. Git, definitely, and Google Play has a lot of free services like leaderboards and store your user data, so it's really cool tools out there. Unity, we switch over to Unity. We think is a very well-supported platform, and you can get a lot of cool stuff there. I mean, UniBuild is one of the things that we've been using right now. It's pretty much allows you to create your IAP, and it will work across board, any stores, Amazon, Google, iOS, Windows, and whatever else is out there that you probably don't want to get into anyway. Then other things like Flurry, TestFlight, Teak, you probably don't know them, but I'll talk more about them. And some of the things you can outsource. I mean, do you really need an artist full-time on a game? Sometimes you do, and you probably have a lot of downtime. So we leverage a lot of our network to get a lot of the arts. It takes time consuming to find those resources, but once you do, it's great. It keeps your costs low. So selling high. Market it right. You spend so much time on the app itself, you really, really want to spend more time on your app icon, A/B test those app icons, your splash screens, prioritize them, which ones are the ones that people actually like, which one catch the eye. This is your marketing, your only marketing tool, and literally you have that 5 screenshots and your app icon and whatever text that you have. And obviously having updates on your app often will help you with visibility, retention as well, because they have to download the game again. So all that really helps you. Know your users. Know who you're targeting to. When you're building a game, if you are, like for us, Bredkin is definitely a female audience, but we wanted to make sure what type of female audience, right? When we did our when we pull our analytics, we noticed that there was a lot of young audience, 13 to, let's say, 29, 28. But we realized that the younger audience, when we did A/B testing, the 13 to 17 don't have credit cards, so they were not our real ideal target audience because they don't really pay. So we switch our marketing campaign based on that, so it helps us target the ones that actually returns ROI for us. So that helps. User segmentation, paying and non-paying. 95% of your users are not going to be paying, so we make them pay. So I'll go into that into more detail. So it's basic stuff that you guys probably already know, but if you don't, it will be helpful. So which comes to ad revenue, interstitials, offer wall, and video. If you don't have those in there, having them in there, it does affect your first-time user play, and that's something that you don't want to do, but we kind of work around that, and I'll go into more detail. And virality, obviously, give a chance that people can take the app and help you market that. So pretty much maximize your user base. So this is our latest rating from, I think, last week. As I said earlier, your title is very important. Make sure that spelling is a key. Illiteracy is everywhere, self-included sometimes. So, but you need to make sure that the spelling is easy. So for us, we dominate SEO for bread. If you type in the word bread anywhere in the App Store, we got that. I don't know how, but we got that. I guess there's not too many games that has the word title bread on it. So that's good. So I said app icon, A/B test that. Just run a Google ad, AdMob. You can run a Google ad and see which one clicks through better. As simple as that. Run a little banner and see which one clicks through better, and that will help you with your conversion. And that has helped us a lot too. The screenshot definitely improved that. The rating is so important. I can't emphasize that. I mean, we were happy when we had like 1,000 5-star review, but then slowly and slowly you just keep growing. The fan base just grows by itself when you have this kind of excitement on your product. So make sure that you get the ratings up there. Keywords is highly important. There's a service called Sensor Tower that you can type in keywords and see what's the ranking on that. You can find out what keyword does Supercell use on the game. You can find out all that information, and it's free. So you just punch it in there, and you can see how your game will perform with those type of keywords. So that helps us. So being Apple feature, so we're iOS only, so being iOS feature, we get about 6 times download more, and the revenue is actually 9 times. I don't understand why the relevance of that is, but I actually confirmed this with a couple other developers, and we pretty much ballpark around there. But yeah, definitely you want to shoot for that. And to get to that, there's a lot of different folks. All this platform, Apple and Google, they want good content on the platform. Amazon is a good time. I've had conversation with them, and they just hungry for content, especially for their Fire everything, Fire HD, Fire Kindle, and Fire TV. So you definitely want to take advantage of that now, if you are doing something. I think I skimmed through this a little bit already. Know the sex, age, and competitor apps. You know, what kind of apps are your competitors are using? Because all this is going to help you with your marketing efforts. When you run a Facebook campaign, I'm going to go into that as well, you want to make sure that you are aiming for those users that have that are game players, right? So if they have those game installed, they have those Facebook logging installed, have a high chance that those guys would like your game as well. And it helps you target your campaign and be more cost efficient because you're targeting the right audience. Analytics, basic stuff. You don't need to know the whole SKU. A lot of game company right there, right now, the publishers, they release, they have a team, a solid team. We might not get to that point, but the thing is, the basic things that we could do ourselves to understand what our new users are, where DAUs are, whether our campaign is working. We need to know all this, and it says to me that a lot of, and these are free tools, a lot of developers don't use them, don't use all this free tool. I don't understand why, and I think this is a failure point. Now, retention, this is very, very important for you. So this is kind of a modest measurement that you should be aiming for. If you have a game, you run your analytics, your day one should be more than 50%. Probably 50, 60%, you're at a good spot. But after that, that means you got the engagement. Your day one, that means they come in and they come back again the next day. Okay, you got their attention. Now, do you have enough content? Do you have the meat for them to come back again? So that's where the 7 days are coming for. So the 7-day retention, usually you want it to be around 30%. And then depending on the extension of your of your game, how long you can keep the users entertained, then the day 30 and beyond that, the longer you have, the better, obviously. But you really want to, for casual game, I think these are pretty good numbers as an indie. These are some of the folks that you could use: Flurry, Mixpanel, Game Analytics. There are tons of them out there. They pretty much all very similar. But for you is whatever that you can get your hands on, the data that you can get your hands on, that can help you make wise decisions in your game design, in your marketing campaign. That's all it is. Yeah. So for us, paying and non-paying user is very important. As I said, 95% of your users are non-paying users. So you really want to find out through your analytics, when does your first purchase are made from a new user. Once you find that mark, then you define, maybe give it a deviation of maybe 10, 20%. And then after that point, you know that, hey, these people are not going to pay. They have pursued this game. They're not going to pay. They're leechers. So how can we make money? Start dropping ads in there. So that's what I meant. It's if you put an app and you put ads in there on the first, when you start the app, you have an ad that pops up. That's a turnoff. Nobody wants that. But when they're engaged, they're like, okay, I'll keep clicking through it. And every click, you probably make anywhere from, I'll say $1.75 to, during the holidays, probably $5, $6 from one of the crazy publishers. So that's a good resource for you. So yeah, so make sure you have don't ruin the first user experience, because that's your game. So make sure you let them play, enjoy it, slowly trap them into the content of the game before you start monetizing on the freemium model. Always upsell items. So for us in our game, we try to upsell them. We try to convert them from non-paying users to paying users. How do we do that? Look, if we get to that point and they're not going to pay, we serve them ads. We annoy them. But we also give them a discount on everything else we have in store. Look, if they're not gonna make we want to try to convert them as a paying user. And also in our store, we list all the games, all the items with remove ads. So we annoy them with the ads and we upsell them to turn it off. So that really boosts our IAP and converting our non-paying user by about 30–40%, which is great, simple. So ads sucks, but you leverage that to help you convert those in paying users. And when you can convert to paying users, you can also upsell them different things that, once they understand the value of the IAPs. Let me see. Blah blah blah. So Upside, which is Playhaven, I don't know, they're playing with their name all the time, but they have a really cool tool, free tools where you can differentiate which ones are paying user and non-paying users. It's very simple, and then you can offer them special things. So definitely install their SDK. So this is the special offer I was telling you about. So hey, hurry up now. You have 1 hour to do it. We actually show this every 4 days. So, but when they see this, like, oh shoot, there's 1 more hour, so I better buy this, and they do it. And the conversion is, this is a business. So make sure you sell your product, not just the game. Hope that they will play. Lead them to it. Lead the horse to the water. Get them to where you need them to be. So appetizers, yeah, so pretty much just leverage, have tiers, convert them into paying users, and they'll be engaged more in the game once they have invested money, real money, into the game as well. Okay, so we're stealing money from them. So we get about 30% additional revenue to what we have just based on the ads and advertisement alone. So outside of IAP, we earn about 30, sometimes even more, but I just want to be modest numbers so you guys can aim for something realistic. So you definitely want to have interstitials ads. Those are the ones that I said it was 75 cents to about $6. Offer wall. So interstitials, offer wall. If you have to do 2 things, those are the 2 you should do. Those will make you the most money. And then after that, video ads are great. They do get a little annoying, but if you want to recharge a gun or something, you can watch a video. They would do it. They watch thousands of video, same ads over and over. They would do it. So hey, everything counts. Banner ads sucks. I wouldn't do it. It's very obstructive. But if you have to, try to put them somewhere non-static. That I see a lot of games where they have the ads is right in the gameplay. It doesn't make sense. Put it into their finish. Hey, they finished level 1. Put it in there. You can put it in there, and it is non-obstructive to the game itself. It doesn't turn off the user. It becomes very low quality when you have an ad in the gameplay. So MoPub is something that you might want to use especially if you're going international, to have a mediation layer to optimize your ads based on the different country. So they have a bidding platform. So let's say we use Chartboost and Playhaven a lot on our interstitial, but if you want to make more in different countries, MoPub will actually try to help you earn more, and their revenue, their cut is actually on the premium. So you still make the same, but we just make more if they have a better alternative for the ads. So I think I come to the point where you probably need to do some user acquisition. You have no money, but you have credit cards. Mama has money, so but you gotta do some UA. Doesn't matter at what level. The most important thing is at any level you should be earning. Try to earn more than what your ad spend. That's the goal, right? So you really want to have quality users. Given that you have done your analytic work, you have maximized your LTV from each of the users. You want to make sure that you also start engaging more sustainable ads campaign. For us, we actually been using a lot of Facebook from day one. I regret not spending more in the early days when it was literally 25 cents per paying targeted user. I knew exactly who I need to go to based on my analytics. Cat lovers, that loves to play this girl game. So we're so targeted. It was 25 25 cents then. Now it's probably closer to $1. So it's a little bit more challenging, but for you, I think, hey, if you can't make $1 from a user, then you really definitely want to review that the analytics again and your game design. Let me see. Gaming networks like Chartboost and Playhaven has served us really well because naturally those are gaming players. They only display ads in game and they sell only offer games. So those have actually worked really well for us. They're a little bit more on the premium side, but they bring in quality. They bring in people that actually have spent money. So it's a good place to start as well. Incentivized ad networks, so those are kind of like the offer walls. Those are cheaper, but also when you buy cheap, you buy all the time. So you buy cheap all the time, you get cheap quality. So I wouldn't recommend those. So definitely Facebook, gaming ad networks, and also Tapjoy have something that's really cool for us. It's called pay per action, where you set a certain criteria on the game itself. Let's say you want them to proceed to finish capturing a kitten, right? Before you start paying them, and those are only actually 20 cents. So the user, you know that they're engaged. They have done this action before you pay them out. So those quality tend to be higher, and they are pretty good. So you should try them. Burst campaign, as in India, I would definitely try to avoid it unless you have multiple things going on, being you're featured, and you have a sustainable campaign to back it up, and then you want to do that burst just to help you boost up the rankings for visibility. But we have tried it, and I think we have failed. So definitely don't do that unless you really believe that your game can sustain with those ROI positive campaign to keep it on those ranking. So definitely those are the tips for UA for us. Virality, word of mouth is still the best pretty much out of all the ads. So you definitely want to make sure you give them the tools to be able to spread the words for you. In our game, we have an option where they can share this SMS, email, Facebook, Twitter. At this point, I'm pretty sure there's a plugin somewhere, especially in Unity, where you can do all this already. It takes 2 seconds. You need to have those. Remind them to share. Don't expect them to do it just because you have the button there. Prompt them when they're happy, when they're like, when there's the crack moment, right? When they're like, oh, they're so high, and like, oh, I got this cat. It took me like 10 tries. But okay, then release it. Tell them, hey, share this with a friend. At those moments is when you want to make sure you remind them to do so. Gifting and asking friends for help. As we know, Candy Crush abused the crap out of that. And it works. It's annoying. We hate them, but it works. Also, video sharing. We're testing something with Camcord right now on our new title. Video sharing is, as you know, Twitch got sold to, was it Google? I think they sold it back to the Google, and there's a lot of audience there. So having your game visibility there, free, is also very good. Everplay is also another player in that arena. So kind of sales pitch this. I have no investment in this company, but we met them last year here, and those guys are here. It's called Teak.io. These guys are awesome. Virality. So Facebook setting up all your push notifications, all your open graph, wall polls, requests. All that is just time consuming. It's very tedious. So it kind of sucks. So with this tool is actually a line of snippets that you put in, and you are able to you're able to just get all this done very easily. So after you do the coding, then your artist, your marketing team can take over, or even I do a lot of the works as well. And you can put all the different stories and all that into it. It makes it very, very easy and professional right off the bat. So definitely give them a shot if you can. Localization. you have to do it, and it can be costly. Localization is probably around 6 cents to about 25 cents, depending on how much words you have. Luckily, we didn't put a lot of words in it. Cats doesn't talk that much, so we were able to translate a lot of stuff with professional services at a cheap. But if you're really struggling, but you should at a minimum do the store, the keywords and the store description, because if they can't read it, I don't know, I'll try to pick an African language. I don't think there's any Africans here, so you look at it, you don't understand it, you probably won't download it. So at a minimum, translate the tools. And Google Translate Toolkit has a really cool tool that you could use. It might be broken, it might not be perfect, but as an indie, you try to save every dime that you can. That actually works. And sometimes we have our store translated, but sometimes you make a new update, you just translate that right there. So that would be really cool for you guys to use. You need to know how you're doing. I'm going through this really fast. You need to really know how you're doing. App Annie has a daily report that gets sent out to you. It tells you all your earning if you plug in all the ad networks that actually work that you're working with. So you know exactly how you're doing, your ranking, your latest trends. So and app figures as well. Sensor Tower told you about keywords and see how your game performs. Blah blah. Oh, that's it. Actually, good timing. I love this. I'm an idiot. I haven't done PowerPoint presentation for a while, so I went all out on it. I think that's it. I think you guys can download this PowerPoint. I kind of list all the contacts and links, so you guys didn't really have to write it down. I should have told you that first, but it was fun watching you scribble everything. Yeah, that's it. I think. Do we have time for Q&A or?
I think we do, but you should just go outside and.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting kicked out. All right, guys. Thank you.